Welcome back to the craft room. I am here to share with you the third part of my Tunisian crochet with me. For this video, and I apologize with the shadows and stuff, I'm actually doing this in my craft room instead of at my work where I normally do these. Maybe that'll be a little better. Nope, that's not. Because I don't want to sit and try and do this and figure it out. Because as I told you in my last video, we're kind of doing this on the fly. So anyway, for this video, you're going to need your 4 legs. And it looks like my coloring is off, but you guys kind of know what I'm doing here. You're going to need your 4 legs. You're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need, if you are embroidering, you're going to need approximately 30 inches of yarn. I'm using, I think this is black. It's either black or really dark blue. I can't tell, but it looks black to me. For what it's worth, for me, it is holding it between my thumb and finger and going down to my elbow twice. That is approximately 30 inches. So, if you don't want to measure it out, you can go that way. You don't really need a whole lot. This is going to be for the eyes and the mouth. If you choose to use buttons or safety eyes, you can also do that and not add a mouth, or you can add a mouth, you can embroider it on, whatever you choose to do. I am going to do embroidery for both. You also need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, approximately 7 stitch markers, to which I will show you what I've done here. 7 stitch markers. The 7 stitch markers are for, I used my embroidery needle for one of my eyes, which you will also need one of those if you are using yarn. I marked where I'm going to put my eyes, my mouth, and then where I'm sticking my legs on, and I will show you how I'm going to do that. So what I have done for the eyes, I have gone down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows from the top, and I've gone over, and I'm not counting these edge stitches, but just 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 and 5 around this right here is where I'm going to put my eyes on both sides. So I'm not counting the edge stitch here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So let's get this ready to go. And I do apologize. I think for some reason I have allergies today going on. I've never had allergies in my entire life, but something out there is making me have an allergy attack. So, back to where we were. Like I said, we're on this row right here. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to do a simple box. And if you're not familiar with doing the cross stitch, I'll try to get this over where you can see. Excuse me from sniffing. But if you pull this apart, as you can see, there are holes. See the holes there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a hole on each right-hand side of that vertical bar. Those are going to be the holes that you will be using for cross stitching. And I'm just going to do a straight stitch. I am not actually doing an X. If you'd like to do an X, you can do that too. If you have ever done anything like the counted cross stitch, this is a lot like that. So I lost my place. Let's count back over. Row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go up through that hole right there at the bottom of that vertical bar. And if I get caught up where it doesn't want to come through easy, it means I've grabbed a strand of that yellow or my basic color. And you don't want to pull it all the way through, and just because I'm lazy, we're going to tie this. So I would leave plenty of a string. And obviously we're going to sandwich these 2 pieces together, so anything that's on the inside here, nobody's going to see. So I'm going to go up here to that hole right above there. I'm going to go through there. And this is not going to be anything fancy. I'm going to go over here by that next vertical bar through that hole, and I'm just going to make a square eyes. going to go back down here to this one. And you can do this any way you want. You don't, if you're a person that does a lot of cross stitch, you do it the professional cross stitch way. I do not like counted cross stitch, except for on Tunisian crochet. So do that. Then I'm going to come back up here to this one. And I'm going to finish off that square eye right there. So there is one eye. Then I'm just going to run my yarn over here. Nothing fancy. Pull that out. You can see where my stitch marker is. So I'm going to take that out. Hopefully I can remember where it was. So I want to go through the bottom hole on that one. Go up here to the top hole. Right there. And I'm going to go over here. And what you're doing is you're going right above and right below that return stitch. So this is just basic, nothing fancy here. Pull that a little bit tighter. Just, you don't want to pull that, sorry. You don't want to pull this too tight so that it bunches up your project. But you want it, you know, just tight enough that it doesn't flop around down there. I'm gonna go up here like, yeah, what should I do? I think I'll go down here on the bottom. I have no clue what I'm doing. Thankfully, like I said, this is going to be sandwiched together, so nobody will know that we made a big mess on the back, except us. There's that, and then come up here. Now I can tell that I split that black. And see, you can see that little yellow. So I'm trying not to do that. I'm not always good at not doing that, but oh, that's good enough. I keep splitting that one just a little bit. Go down through here. Then we're going to, there's our eyes. That is kind of cute. Now where this stitch marker is, this is from the bottom of, we'll count down from the row where you did your eyes. Right here, it'd be 1, 2, 3 rows down. And this is where I think I want the bottom of my stitch. I'm going to kind of go from here to here, and then across the bottom, and then up one. And give it kind of like a little V mouth. So it's going to go across these 2 stitches. So since I have my tail over here, I'm going to kind of go left to right. Because like I said, nobody's going to see this but me. Let's see. I'm going to go across there. So we're going to go up here, 1 over, where my stitch marker is, and pull up through the top. I'm going to remove that stitch marker. I'm going to go down here. And I apologize if you can hear the neighbors. Then I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go back over here. And then I'm going to go up right here in that vertical bar. Whoops. I pulled through in the wrong spot. Let's pull it apart so I can see it. See there? I need to come up right there. It's a little high, but it'll work. And then right back there. Alright, there we go. There is my eyes and my mouth for my critter. And what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to cheat here. I'm just going to snip my yarn, because I'm not going to need that anymore. And I'm just going to tie this in a little knot. There is no need to make this fancy on the back. Like I said, nobody's going to see it because we're going to sandwich it together with that other piece that we made. So there's that. Now, what we're going to do with the legs, that's kind of cute. Kind of reminds me of a Lego. But anyway, what we're going to do with the legs, I have marked my stitches here, and I've kind of tried to space them out a little bit. I've counted over, I'm not counting this edge one, I've counted over 2 on each side. I count the edge, I went over 2 on each. Sorry, I'll put this back where you can see it. I'm actually looking at my project and not the camera this time. So over 2 on each side. And then from that one, I counted over 3 and put a marker. And I counted over 3 and put a marker, which leaves 4 in the middle. So what we're going to do, Like I said, nothing fancy here. We're going to attach these legs so that they will be ready for us to sandwich the two pieces together. I'm just going to go through one of my strings here. Just like that. And I'm going to go from the bottom up because I want the legs on the bottom. I'm going to go from the bottom up and go right through that back bump only of that stitch. As you can see, I'm just going through that back bump. I'm going to pull that yarn through. I'll pull that stitch marker out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tie this other piece right there. We're just going to tie these on so that they are in place and we won't have to worry about fiddling with them when it comes time to crochet this all together. So see, they're already attached. They're not going to come off. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up and do the other two, and then we will have this part of the video done. Or not the video. This part of the project done. There you go. That's how I roll with doing things like this. I have my legs now in place to where I won't have to fiddle with them or try to arrange them where I want them or think they should be when we sandwich the two pieces together. I have embroidered my face because I chose to embroider it. Like I said, if you want to use buttons or safety eyes, that is fine also. And the back is not going to matter because we're going to sandwich that other piece on top of here, and then we will be done. So I will be back with you in the next video and we will put this together.